Yes, hello, this is CTV News. We are still getting some information on the plane crash as we take it back to Jessica Hawley, who is the corporate communications advisor over the Delta Airlines Corporation. Well, hello, CVT News. We do know that on August 31st, there was a Delta Flight 1141, that crashed at the Dallas Fort Worth Airport. While waiting to join the taxi queue, the pilots had various discussions about recent plane crashes. And just so happened that the plane failed to become airborne and overran the runway on takeoff. We are still trying to get information, but going back to CTV News, they do want to know the particular details that we do know about the crash. The Boeing 727 slammed down in the field and burst into flames, killing 14 of the 108 people on board. We do know, according to the National Transportation Safety Board, the pilots were distracted by their off-topic conversation and had failed to configure the plane properly for takeoff. So something we do know, there is information as to how it is being handled, and particularly everyone wants to know at this time what was the cause. We do know that we're still finding more information as information comes available to us. We have discovered bad maintenance practices led to a failure of a crucial warning that prevented the pilots from noticing their mistake. Currently, we have found out that the sterile cockpit rule was just introduced and was not fully enforced at the time, which was part of the cause of distraction and failure to notice the maintenance issue. We are going over the safety protocols for the sterile cockpit procedure and how to enforce it in annual training so it does not happen again. Going back to CTV News, they are wanting to know about solutions and how are we going to reassure the public that everything is okay, and how is this situation being dealt with. We are still getting information at the moment for possible solutions, but we do know that if the lead flight attendant that stepped into the cockpit to discuss the recent crash, which led to further distraction for the first officer to properly do his taxi checklist properly. We do also know that the ground controller gave the pilots their next set of instructions after the pilots continued their conversation and failed to get taxi clearance. While on the runway, a bird got hit by a jet blast, which was thrown into the conversation. We do know that the flaps for the wings were not set to the proper degree check, which failed to go overlooked on the checklist. This caused the flaps to retract, so when the plane became airborne, it could not take off and get to the proper speed, which caused the crash. But as we can see here, there were multiple causes for this particular crash, and we are extremely sorrowful for the pilots and also the crew to be in this type of situation, and we are really trying to still get in touch with the families of the particular passengers that did pass away, and we do send our condolences and our condolences to their families.